Yo, what's up? This is Justin Clancy. Catch me on Big Dookie Chain Podcast for Cash and Styles. Cash and Styles. God damn it.
You ready to go?
Whoa, hey!
All right.
Hey,
nice. Let's
hey.
go.
Ready?
Who would have done thought? I'm ready.
Do your thing.
Nate D-O-double-G behind
thing.
the boards, behind the cameras right now. Filling in for Hush. Not even filling in, replacing Hush. To the left of me is Tash. And then we have the guest of honor, Justin Clancy. Yep, good to see you again, brother.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
Again, yeah, we were just with you, actually.
Yeah,
we were with you in Worcester, and we were with you in Queens.
Yeah, good to see you guys when I'm not fucking viciously contact high.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually curious about that, being sober and everything like that. Being in that second one was pretty fucked up, huh?
I mean, it's like one of those things, bro. Like, I'm desensitized to it at this point. You know, being in the industry and being sober in the industry for so long, it's one of those things that you kind of got to build a callus to. Especially if you want to, like, consistently stay sober.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of got to come to the conclusion that, like, okay, I'm going to be exposed to this stuff. Like, overexposed.
Especially if you want rock and roll, you know?
Especially if you want to, especially if you want to do it. So it's like one of those things, like, you know, you just kind of got to accept it, you know?
How long you been sober for?
Yeah, over 10 years now.
How old are you?
29.
Shit,
Yeah.
okay. Damn, all right. So you kind of got sober early.
Super.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a month after I turned 19.
Okay. Do you mind going into a little bit of that? I mean, how, like, because that's kind of interesting that you started so early and you got sober so early. Usually people, it takes them a while.
Right. I mean, it was one of those things where it kind of reached a low point, so much so to where it was like, you know, the party had to stop. Like, I was really bad at doing drugs.
But
like,
at 18,
yeah,
you were already like, this got to stop.
I was completely enveloped. Like, it's one of those things, man, like, where I was already, like, playing with death. You know what I mean? Like, I was already so close so many times, and, like, I'd already experienced all these things, and, like, I got locked up, and, like, the overdoses and the different facilities and, like, the chaos that comes with being an addict. I was exposed to it at such an early age, and I had dealt with it so frequently.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
When I talked to you outside the roll-up, when we were in the back, I was like, how long have you been sober? Because I thought it was part of your, like, recent story, and you're like a decade.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know.
It's been like
You're not a haggard old man.
Forever. Yeah,
weathered by the tests of time.
No.
You're a young whippersnapper.
And you look young, too.
Yeah.
So on top of that, it's like you've been sober for 10 years. It's
yeah.
like,
well, people think I'm like 23, 24, you know what I mean? So it's like, which I'm not fucking complaining about at all. It's great. Like, when I get carded, I'm like, fuck yeah.
As you should be when you get to be our age, my God.
Yeah,
when
man.
Botox starts to be, and you're looking up Botox prices, like.
Yeah, dude. It's like, but.
When you were in, like, the throes of your addiction, were you doing music back then?
Yeah. I've been doing music forever.
Which started first, the drugs or the music?
Music.
Okay. So you started music when you were how old?
Move your hand.
I was 8.
Oh wow!
When I wrote my first song, I was 8.
Do you come from a family of musicians?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Just I guess, like, my father really appreciated music and was, like, very much so into it.
What was he listening to?
Everything. And, like, as a result of that, like, I was exposed to so much, and, like, my uncle too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, like, you know, my dad would he'd introduce me to all of these different bands, and, like, you remember, like, the music choice catalogs?
Yes.
And it was like you buy one CD and you get, like, 4 for free.
Yep.
It's like the penny
Oh, yeah.
catalog.
I missed those.
That's how we got all of our CDs.
Yeah. Now you can buy a CD for $40 direct from the artist.
So that's how. So yeah, exactly. But, like, so that's how I was exposed to it through my father. So when I would go and I'd visit him on weekends, he would have, like, the music choice catalog, and he would pick a CD that he wanted, and then he'd give me the catalog and say, pick whatever you want. And I didn't know shit. I just knew, like, album covers.
Wait, what was your first CD though? What is the first one you picked?
I can tell you, like, the batch that I carried around with. So I used to carry around, like, a Yankee Candle bag, and inside of the bag was like
an old white woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it was just like one of those bags that you got if you shop there. Type
Yeah, I
shit.
got it.
But
when shopping at, like, the Christmas stores. The Christmas outlet stores, Yankee.
So the first batch I got, it was because I carry it with, like, a Walkman and stuff. But I was like,
Hold on, Walkman or Discman?
Walkman.
What Walkman was cassettes.
Cassettes.
Oh well, he had a Walkman that I would use too, but a Discman. Yeah.
Okay.
Tomatoes.
Wait, have you ever bought a cassette?
No.
Well, you're saying tomato, but when people that your age talk about these stories, you're talking about your dad's my age. So like, I mean, I'm 40, how old is your dad? 45, 47?
He would have been 61.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, so
I was like, damn, how young do you think he
I'm
right.
15 years older than him.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and he's talking about the music catalog days. Those are like the 90s.
I forgot you're mid 40s.
Yeah.
I thought you were my age. Oh man.
That's like the 90s. So like
a ball game.
Yeah, man.
You know, like the 90s. When people talk about like introducing us to music and stuff, they're talking about like a lot of the bands that were out when we were in high school and shit.
There was no music club in the cassette days though. What was there? There was no BMG Columbia House cassettes. So. Now that I think about it, I never thought about that.
I don't think so. But
all
anyways,
right, so yeah, what CDs were you carrying around for your disc man?
So I had Soundgarden. I had
Was it Super?
Yep.
Nova. I don't remember.
It was A-sides.
What was it?
A-sides, I think it was called. A-sides or B-sides, but it was sick.
The Soundgarden that had Black Hole Sun.
Yes, which is one of my favorite songs of all time.
It's a good one.
One of my favorites.
And I just love them roasting that doll on the campfire.
Yeah. But I had that. Video. I had that. I had Busta Rhymes' Greatest Hits, which was like the dopest shit from Busta Rhymes, in my opinion, because it was like early 2000s. Like, so that was the cutoff. So it had all the old stuff from like when he did Tribe Called Quest up until
Leaders of the New School stuff. Because you make me, I think if they put out a Busta Rhymes Greatest Hits now, it'd be like with Mariah Carey and all this R&B trash. But this was and it'd be like the last thing I want near me. Mm-hmm, and I have something against any best of albums because it's usually those like A-side tracks that they use for the radio.
Yeah, they're cop-outs, but back then they were like, it was huge for exposure, especially for a young mind. You know what I mean? Like, because I had that. I had Tupac's Greatest Hits too. But then I would also listen
the double album?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I'd also listen to like a lot of Motown, a lot of like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder, and then I was exposed to like Pink Floyd The Wall, and then like everything from like I had The Chronic in there, I had Ben Folds Live.
So what was more responsible for getting you addicted to drugs? The Chronic by Dr. Dre or Pink Floyd's The Wall?
Oh man.
Who do we blame?
I blame the physicians. I blame the doctors.
The doctor,
not Dr. Dre.
No, the doctor. Okay, so break that down. What are we talking? We're going into a whole other realm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a firm believer in when people are like predisposed to a chemical at a young age, and being predisposed to something that you believe will normalize you as far as like what society may deem you.
So they were putting you on antidepressants?
No.
Okay.
So I was like 6 or 7 and they had me on fucking Adderall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Breaking
here's the
Bad.
thing. The parallel between kids that were over medicated at a young age and those same kids going on to like become addicted to drugs, it's right there.
I think also
right there.
If you want to add in one more layer, more ripple to that, it's usually the kids that were hyperactive because they were creative. Mm-hmm. The creative kids were usually the hyperactive kids that got the ADD.
Yeah, what did they have your hyperactive ass on at an early age?
My mother just beat the shit out of me every day, dude. I was from the 80s. Kid.
I figured that would be the only anecdote.
It was different. 80 was different.
From the 80s,
man. But so in short, there's just like a direct pipeline between kids that are like put on medication at a young age and then adults that
specifically
are
things that act fast, like Xanax or Adderall.
It's also if you're desensitized to have like from a young age, if you're used to like eating pills, then like you don't care about eating pills when you get older. Like
no, so the thing is, it's the preconceived notion that there's a chemical solution to an internal dilemma.
Exactly. Yep.
So that follows suit. You know what I mean?
So you think somebody even on Lexapro or something that takes 2.5 weeks to kick in, they're also setting themselves up for drug addiction later?
No, that's not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like for a child to be predisposed
on anything,
so much and so frequent. I don't know if it still goes on that much now, but I know with my generation, it was, if you caught it on your tongue, you would fit the prognosis, that diagnosis.
Yeah, we're from a different, so like that younger generation that was like from the opioid crisis era and shit. They were heavily medicated. Like we didn't have medication because it wasn't out yet.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, like whoever had ADD was just a kid who just ran a lot. The kid who just was loud in class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was it, and that was that kid, and whatever the fuck. Now, it's like you said. I don't know if it's like that anymore, but for a while it was like just a mill. Every kid that came through was they got to be there's something that we can give you to make you normal.
Yeah, you were at the height of like antidepressant use and anti-anxiety use.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't around. I didn't get my greedy little hands on my Prozac until like 18 years old.
Well, my shit was like ADHD medicine. You know what I mean? Like that was the main thing. But yeah, so that just kind of followed suit. Throughout like my adolescence was just like the idea of needing a chemical in order to like make me feel normal.
So no blame is going to the musicians.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so we flipped that question. Which one of those CDs made you want to make music the most?
Honestly, what made me want to make music was a mixture of. So, do you know who Ben Folds is?
Yes.
Have you heard the live album, Ben Folds Live?
No.
It's just him and a piano. And, like, the crowd was super interactive and stuff. And I would, like, go to sleep every night listening to that album. So it was a mixture of that, College Dropout, huge for me because I love the samples, you know what I mean? Like, the samples were so cool because that allowed me to go and find those songs and listen to those songs, which I'm just a sponge, you know what I mean? I'm always still, like, I'm a super sponge, I just am constantly learning every day. But so like the Ben Folds Live album, College Dropout.
Because when you were that age, they were still able to sample music. Like College Dropout, he was still sample. This is before rappers were unable to sample anything.
Well, I'm sure it was a fucking nightmare to clear those records. Yeah, probably. Still, like absolute fucking nightmare, But
now you can't get away with anything because the AI will just pick it up.
Yeah. But no.
Well, I ask because you have like, so from where you started at your style. Right, to where you're at now is obviously a progression. So you were more traditionally hip-hop, your early stuff.
Yeah.
Not even, it wasn't still traditionally hip-hop, but more traditionally hip-hop. Now you've kind of like, grown to like this extra like style. Like that's why I'm kind of curious how you started. If Ben Folds 5 was your inspiration to start making music, that's kind of interesting because you started making like rap music.
Yeah. Well, so it kind of shifted as I grew. So they are who inspired me to write. Like not just that, but I was also really big into G Unit, really big into Lloyd Banks, really big into 50 Cent. Like that whole thing going on.
Because that was huge when you were like your teen years.
I fucking loved The Game. Yeah. The Game was like
G Unit was, you're talking like the mid 2000s.
This was like prime, like the documentary just dropped.
They had the sneakers out and shit?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're fucking you're like
the documentary just dropped. Fat Farms were in. G Unit shoes were in.
You can front if you want.
Did you ever have one of those fucking tank tops?
Nah.
Did you have the G Unit spinners on your shoes ever?
No.
I forgot about that.
Nah, the Dadas. You remember the Dadas with the?
What are those?
You'd step in the fucking hill with.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Nah, dude. Nah, I never had any of that. I did have the G Unit shoes though.
Did you ever wear a bulletproof vest like Fitty?
No. But I remember being like. Dude, I remember being like 9 or 10 years old doing push-ups in my room to fucking 50 Cent, thinking I was so badass.
Absolutely.
I was a fat kid too.
You gotta walk the yard afterwards.
I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Just pushing it up. 50 Cent. If I can't do it, it can't be done. Yeah, fat Justin as a child just. Can you see it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it was insane.
I can't really see it from here.
There's a whole generation of kids that's that.
Yeah.
Like kids from your age, your era. 50 Cent was so fucking huge.
He was massive.
That was like the kid with the Grimace hat, like doing this thing. Like that. There's like a whole generation of like middle of the country, like white bread kids.
Well, even
that,
for me, I remember when In the Club dropped. And I was in New York City, and it was like
insane.
the last crazy thing I've ever seen in music.
I bet it was insane. I mean, but
up until the Drake Kendrick battle, but we'll get into that later.
I remember. I remember. You remember when the Massacre and
yeah, I remember buying that at Newbury Comics on Newbury
at the
Street.
same time.
What was it?
Kanye and
50 Cent went head to head with the album release.
And they did that with Curtis and
that didn't pan out so well.
Not for 50.
No, but like those were like the golden years. I mean,
I specifically remember walking down Newbury Street in the snow, unwrapping The Massacre. Yeah, it was like the end of the CD era, actually, right before it was already heavily into downloading and LimeWire and all that.
Right.
But it was just about the time when it totally switched.
If you tighten that right there, it won't dip anymore.
This?
Yep, tighten that up. There you go. Tighten that bitch right there.
I gotta throw this out there too, just so you know exactly what you're dealing with on this couch. In case you don't,
we got it. I got it. Yeah.
I assume you do, but in case you don't, this man right here is like your number one fucking advocate.
Oh, I love that.
He absolutely is just. Oh, he does.
Yeah.
He is pushing you real hard. Yeah. And actually, I do see some parallels between the music you make now and your old group AWOL.
There is.
You know, it's not like rock. Neither are rock rap in the Limp Bizkit-y sort of way. Yeah. It's more like alternative rap.
Yeah, it's like alternative leaning.
Yours is more bluesy.
Mine's a little more like singy.
Yours is more teen angsty.
I always liked the idea of we didn't rap, we made music.
Yeah, that's how I approach it.
Like we just made music. Like that's what we did. Like
my
it
voice
wasn't
is an
saying.
instrument.
I mean, we rapped, but like it was more like cerebral too. It was like a.
Right.
I think that's what he's getting. The writing was really good, and also the production's the same. I mean, he has Knox producing them, so.
Because Knox was in AWOL for whoever's
Well, I got
this.
Knox, and then on this album, I also have Leo.
Okay.
Who is another Weymouthite.
Who's that?
Leo. He just did the whole Joyner album.
I don't think I know him.
Yeah.
Leo's
son. Yeah.
Leo's son.
Yeah. He just did the whole Joyner album. He's great.
The Weymouth kid. I didn't know there's another Weymouth kid out there.
We got to get that motherfucker in here. Are you kidding me?
Dude, Weymouth got some fucking shit. Weymouth's always had some shit.
Which is insane.
Something no one else has ever said, but I'll go with it. I'll roll with that.
Yeah.
No, Weymouth has there's a lot of really good lyricists and stuff. Like the kids that we grew up with, Knox was 10 years younger than me, but the kids that he ran around with, there was like 7 or 8 of them. Like 6 of them were really good, and 2 of them were were good enough to like make it if they didn't get into what they got into. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I remember when Hush was Rage 617 too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we'll get into that because the story of how I met Knox was fucking insane.
How'd you meet Knox?
Tell us. Man. Okay, so we're kind of going all over the place, like timeline wise, but
okay, yeah. So we'll get to that because I do want to talk about the Van store.
With the what?
You went the Warped Tour, didn't you?
Yeah, this was after meeting Knox though.
That was after meeting Knox.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I met Knox in 2011 or 12. He was living in Hush's basement.
Yeah, he was living in Hush's basement.
Oh, really?
That's when I met him.
The fucking onion, another layer.
Knox lived in Hush's basement for like probably 3 to 4 months.
So I was recording. So I was recording at a spot in Lynn, right? And this is where I learned everything. Like I learned everything at this place, right? I like would not go to school. I'd skip school. I wound up dropping out, but that's just because my attendance was so low because I'd be at the studio till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with like all these older cats and like learning.
Are you making music that we've heard at this point? Like
maybe like
TV dinner and shit. Is that out yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. This is before I was making that. It was like all early stuff. But long story short, I had a whole album. But at the time, like I put out this record called Slide. And I sampled, because I produced at the time too.
Okay.
So I sampled the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was like 16. I sampled the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I shot a whole music video for it. You know what I'm saying? And it got like a lot of buzz. Like it got like 50, 60,000 YouTube views, which at the time is fucking massive, you know?
Yeah.
So I did that. And I was recording at the studio in Lynn. I had an album. I had like a whole thing. I had made like my own clothing brand, and like I was printing out merch and like driving around. I'd steal my mom's car to like go and sell crew necks and stuff like that. Yeah. Because I've been doing this forever, man. And one day somebody broke into the studio in Lynn and stole fucking everything. They stole hard drives. They stole everything.
Oh, God.
So my whole like life's work up until that point that I've recorded was gone. Everything was fucking gone. And I was like, yo, this is a lost cause. Like, I don't know. At the time, I didn't have a producer. I was just getting beats online and shit, other than beats that I was making at the time. And I put up a Facebook status because I had this record that I wanted to record, and I was with my guy who was going to shoot a music video with me, for me. So I hit up Facebook, and Hush like commented and he was like, yo, I have a studio, come and record, my guy's a monster, blah blah blah, this and that. And I'm like, okay, bet. So I'm using at the time, by the way, like at this point in time I'm using, right?
What are we using when we say using?
I think I was doing Perk 30s.
Okay.
But I pull up to Hush's basement with like two or three of my friends, like whatever. One of them was Aldovino.
Okay.
Oh, I was just on the phone with them on the way here.
Yeah, insane, right?
Yeah.
We used to hang out and stuff like that. Really good people, really good kid. So like, we pull up and there's Knox, and it's the first time I ever met him, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta check this out! I just sampled my girl having an orgasm, and I just sampled a knife on this piece of toast." And da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yo, this man is a fucking psychopath." And I was like, "I fucking love him, right?" Like, and I think he did the session for an eighth of weed. You know what I mean? And we recorded this song called "Old Soul," and I don't know if it's still up or if it's still on YouTube. But there was like a whole music video to it, whatever. And that was in Hush's basement, and that was like forever ago. So like,
he doesn't charge an eighth of weed anymore.
Definitely not, definitely not, man. But we were at two very, very different points in each other's lives. I think like some of the lowest points, honestly. And you know, I've kind of been rocking with them ever since. I mean, we lost touch for a little bit, but then you know, we got back in touch and. The rest is history. And
the reason I advocate for him so hard is because I am like a fan of the music. Not just like, I'm a fan of good quality like ideas, you know, that are executed properly.
Yes.
Like that's like what, it doesn't matter the genre, it doesn't matter what it is. It just, that's what I need. I need good quality ideas that are executed like properly. And you guys do that. Part of like what the Knox thing is, and Knox linking up with you is, Knox always had problems with, and I'll tell him all the shit to his face. Knox always had problems with rappers because he's too experimental.
Right.
And if you don't know how to fucking... AWOL was successful with him because, like, some of my cerebral shit and Ski's cerebral shit, like, we could kind of take his ideas and, like, make them more, like, palatable for people. But they're super experimental. You know, like, that's why it sounds like that. With rappers, like, a lot of times rappers don't want to do that shit.
Right.
But you're a super creative... fucking like you're as creative, as random, and as artsy as he is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys together like can do shit like Bury Me. You guys can do shit like this. The whole album of like Connection. You guys can do stuff like that rappers just wouldn't touch.
Yeah.
Because it's like gay, or it's like not masculine, or it's not like whatever the fuck you want to call it. But rap won't touch that.
Speaking of gay masculinity, I noticed you don't have your Dookie on.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I got you right here.
Oh, there we go. You got me right there.
Don't worry, I got you right here too. Now we got the Gucci links because Mr. PSA has my other chain from the hosting Grass is Greener.
Nah, this is real, man. This is real shit. Right?
That is definitely not real shit.
No,
Feel that? No, this shit is heavy. That's why my neck is dipping a little.
This is real.
$30,000 around my neck.
So you make the first song with Knox.
Yeah.
You guys realize that you're on. You might have something.
Well, so it was trial and error. So the first time me and Knox reconnected, right? At the time, I was like heavy into like Terms Camp.
Okay.
Like I was doing
ST to Squad.
Yeah.
He knows Brandon.
Brandon
worked his Blue album.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Brandon very well because prior to working the Blue album,
full circle.
This is way back when nobody really fucked with me, right? I was living at a halfway house, and I would drive because I lived my halfway house was on Cape Cod, right? And I would drive up to Boston like every night to work for Brandon.
You couldn't find one closer to the city?
Nah.
Well, he was doing street team shit with Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you could find a halfway house a little more centrally located.
I had to go wherever it would take me.
What's crazy though is that
I exhausted my resources.
You don't know that Brandon's a big friend of the show and of us and stuff like that. And we know if you don't know who Bedlam is, some people won't. But if
where is he? Bring him out.
Right, we got him right here. He's in the back.
He's in the closet right now.
He won't come on. He won't come on.
He won't come out of the closet.
He doesn't like to do podcasts. But it's another layer to the thing of like, if you know Bedlam, you're in the game seriously.
Right.
Like he doesn't fuck around with people that aren't.
Yeah, he was the person who got all the national artists to undergroundhiphop.com while I was working there.
Well, he taught me everything. cats like him, cats like Wally.
Okay, Wally fuck with you too, right?
And Dart Adams taught me everything.
So guess who we had on like 2 weeks ago was Dart Adams.
Yeah. Oh, that man will.
The encyclopedia.
He is the podcast, bro.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to say anything on this couch.
That man knows everything, and I don't understand. That man is like.
No, I don't understand either.
He's a fucking psycho. But long story short, I was fucking with that camp, and the music that I was making was like I wanted to be like a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing, dude.
Look at you now. You got the Gucci links on.
I know. Now I'm like.
Now you're there.
You know.
Your childhood dreams are coming into fruition.
Shit. Damn, bro. Nah, but yeah, I wanted to be like a rapper. Basically, it was like I wanted to be something that I wasn't, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's not that I'm not a rapper. Like, I'll bite somebody's fucking head off. Like, I can spit, you know? But I was selling myself short for the sake of, like, wanting to fit in rather than stand out, you know? And I went to Knox for the first time, and I cut this record, and I was, like, on, like, that, like, weird, like, screamy white boy shit, like weird rapper shit, like, not cool.
Like Little Peepish?
No. Lil Peep's sick though. I fuck with Lil Peep, but no, it was like
I think an emo rap. But yeah.
It was like a bad Vinny Paz.
Oh,
like that kind of shit.
Yeah. I was about to say a name or two, and then I'm like, I'm gonna catch myself.
But like, I wanted to be someone else so bad, and then I got to the studio, and me and Knox like cut the record, and I was like, "What do you think about it?" And he was like, "I don't like it." I was like
that level of honesty.
All right.
Yeah, Knox is definitely like. Yeah. That motherfucker will make you say the same word like fucking 20 fucking. Go back and say it again.
Right.
Go back and say it again.
It's like the Weymouth Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Easily. No. Like the word no. Like I said the word no for like a half an hour once, dude. It's like you know. Yeah. He's a perfectionist.
I love that.
Well, now at this point, him and I are like super locked in. You know what I mean? So like, but at the time, man, it was bone crushing because I was like, damn, like he doesn't fuck with this, like. And then I'm just like, wait a second, do I fuck with this?
Your army of the Pharaoh's dreams were dissolving in front of your eyes.
Right. And like, I met Esoteric, and he wasn't that stoked to meet me. You know what I mean? But I was like, damn, bro, like, okay, this is not gonna work out. I was like, I need to switch. So I booked another block of studio time with him, and we sat down, and I was like, I wrote this hook. It was the hook to TV Dinner. And I was like, yeah, it'd be sick if we got like a female singer to do it. And he like heard me like riffing it, and he was like, no, you do it. And I was like, you know what? Fine, I will fucking do it.
This is the first time you sang on an album?
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, at the time I had experimented with like more harmonics with like John Glass and stuff like that, but it wasn't ever like like straight up me singing the hook and then rapping on a song. And we made TV Dinner in one sitting in one day. And then when we bounced it out, the whole file deleted itself, so we couldn't do fucking anything else.
I didn't even know that.
Change it.
I didn't know I didn't Knox produced TV Dinner. I didn't know that. It's a really good song too.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's a really good song.
And from that point forward, I was like, yo, this is it. This is my bag. I was like, no one else sounds like this. And it was one of those things like I must have played that fucking song back like 90 times that night, like 90 fucking times. And I almost deleted it because while we were making it, I was like, let's scrap it. Let's do something else. This isn't rappy enough. You know what I mean? But that's like what really.
But what's crazy though is 11 years ago, right? Another thing is, so AWOL also did some singy-songy hooks, but that was like 10 years before because Dama would sing like on the hooks and shit, which made us a little different because it was before like the Drake shit and everything. Like no one was really doing that stuff yet. Even like 11 years ago,
50 Cent was still making fun of it before he started doing it.
Yeah, it wasn't like the thing. It wasn't the move yet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like now everyone does it.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. When you guys were doing when he showed me you that long ago. Like nobody was doing that shit yet. That's why I like it. It was different.
Yeah, for sure.
What turned me on to you actually was fucking Work in Progress.
Wow.
Work in Progress to me, the video and the song together, is the best piece of art that I know that anyone's made. I know everyone that made shit in this room. I've known Knox very well.
Yeah,
that's the best piece of complete art.
Interesting.
That
really?
I know that anyone's ever made.
Wow.
Start to back.
Thank you.
When you're welcome. The beginning part of that video, when the little girl's watercolor is on it, and there's like an ashtray on the fucking painting, and then someone puts the fucking coffee cup down, and it leaves a water ring on it. The attention to detail in these things.
When he was playing it for me, there was this level of excitement on steroids.
Well, I love that
because
wow,
because
it's a great song, man.
You know how many people the scene when she comes back with the new car.
Right.
Like if you don't got like a little choked up in that shit during that, like you haven't been through that process yet.
No, or you haven't seen it.
Because that's a real, very fucking real thing that like that I know a lot. If the two things happen when you're down there, either you die, or that happens, and that's it. And a lot of the people in this room have fucking died. We know a lot of people that have died. So when you see someone that actually puts it together and gets their kids back, gets a job, gets a new car, it's like it brings tears to your face because you know real people that couldn't pull it off and aren't here anymore. Do you know what I mean? So to me, that was that. When I saw that video, I was like, okay, who directed that video?
Ben Prue.
Okay, because I'm like, whoever's putting this stuff together is thinking.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of shit I'm on.
Yeah, and like a lot of my videos, like I direct as well. So like I'll always come with the treatment. I'll always come with an idea. I'll always come with like this, and this. So it's always a collaborative thing. I'm a control freak.
I remember when you came out with what album was it with Bury Me on it?
Ugly Parts.
Ugly Parts. When you guys did that, I remember you were excited about because I like the song "Bury Me," which is like reminds me of a Justin Timberlake Timbaland is what it reminds me of in a good way. Like that's like just the layers of it, and you know what I'm saying, the slides and shit. But that video, you were excited how you were like, oh, wait to see this video, man. It's gonna be
bro.
You tell them describe what you did for that. Like this is the kind of shit that like this is what I mean by like interesting, introspective, and like creative.
Yeah.
Like, God, you trying to explain what the fuck that was about.
I mean, well, first of all, I shot that video 3 fucking times. 3 separate occasions I had to hang myself upside down in a church. On 3 separate occasions. Yeah. But
so he's in a church, yeah. I
haven't seen the video.
Yeah, so he hasn't seen the video. Yeah, so he's in a church, he's upside down. Then you're swimming in a pool with like a suit on, but there's like pill bottles everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's very like, and you got ballerinas in there at some point in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like
Black Swan.
Yeah, it's very like fucking.
But do you have the part where the fingernails ripped off slowly?
Oh, dude.
From the movie Black Swan.
No, I don't have that part. That part's gnarly. I love the Black Swan.
Yeah, it's great.
I got a Black Swan poster in my crib.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, man.
It's an amazing movie.
But, what is it? Aronofsky?
Yes.
Yeah, he's great. Mm-hmm. He did Pie. He
did you see the one he just did?
That was The Whale?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Whale was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he did The Whale too. That was great.
The Whale is good when you realize it's actually the modern version of Moby Dick.
Yes.
That like you don't realize that it's Moby Dick, the actual book Moby Dick, but it is the book Moby Dick. That's what's dope about that. Yeah. But like in a different
it's an interpolation
setting.
Of it.
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
Yeah, it was cool, man. But so like, yeah, we hung ourselves. I got hung upside down in a church. Like we built an A-frame, rented out a church.
You can rent out churches. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan did it too for one of his videos.
Well, yeah. Now that I think about it, like I was just out in Iceland and like there's a death metal church that all these music videos were filmed.
Oh no way! That's like, actually fucking sick.
Yeah.
But so I did that, and yeah, I got like some ballet dancers in there, and that was amazing. It was really cool. I mean, the payoff is never in the numbers for me. The payoff is like just seeing the art like come to life. That's it. You know what I mean? There's no bigger satisfaction than like having an idea in my mind,
bringing it to life.
Like, oh, I want to hang myself upside down in a church and have the fucking camera spin while it pans out. You know what I mean? And then throw some fucking ballet dancers in there wearing all black with all black tutus like Black Swan, and have them do this fucking beautiful dance in the church. And just like seeing that come to fruition is like,
yeah,
big thumbs up. You know, like
actually, you like bleeding in the mirror at one point, like.
Yeah. Well, Noose. Yeah, Noose. I basically, yeah. With Noose, I basically wanted to. So if you listen to the song, it's all like major chords and it's all like lush, beautiful melodies, and it's like, without the lyrics, like it sounds like just like a very standard pop song to an extent. I mean, of course, it's like more layered and more complex, but in its core, it's got major chords and all these, beautiful stacks. But the lyrics I put on it are like some of the darkest I've ever written. You know what I mean? So I wanted to capture that juxtapose, and as a result, like I wanted to take like what represents purity, which is like just all white, like this all white, super sterile room, and then I wanted to fucking make it bleed. You know what I mean? Like I just want to fucking.
God,
I'm in the middle of Handmaid's Tale, so this is speaking to that.
Yeah.
Which is a great show, by the way.
Great show. It lost me one of the last seasons, but great show.
I'm not there yet.
Oh boy. Lost me.
Do you like? Okay, when we were in New York at Amazon and Queens for the roll up, I brought along a friend of mine. She's not really big into hip hop, but she's trying to become a singer. She went to Berkeley School of Music in Boston, and she was like blown the fuck away by your performance.
Really?
Even though you were performing to like Zombieland and everyone was high as fuck.
Fucking brutal.
I know.
Ain't gonna lie. That
she was like,
brutal.
It's hard.
She was like, how did that just happen? How did he do that? He's saying as if like the place was like everyone came.
That was
for
me
you.
at like 20% too. Like I wanted to die, bro. That was fucking rough.
Well, she was blown the fuck away. I was too. I had not seen you perform before.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I think I was
sorry, that
backstage
was
in
like the
Worcester, so I didn't
intro.
get to see you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that was like the intro, man, because that is so I ain't gonna lie, bro, that was like top 5 worst shows I've ever done. And it has nothing to do with y'all.
Yeah, no,
nothing to do with y'all.
It's the weed.
It was
is why
the
I'm
weed crowd.
anti-weed.
It's tough.
It was the weed crowd, but also like the sound people. I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
It was pandemonium. Again,
it was.
out of you guys' control.
It was.
You know what I mean?
I eventually got the guy to turn you all the way up and push it to the front. Anyways, that's that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah,
at the very end
yeah,
there,
yeah,
because it was he was denying that was happening, but
No, he was
Yeah.
fucking. He should get a new fucking job.
fucking.
You know what I mean?
He'll be at Boston Calling though.
The sound guy?
No, will be.
Yeah, wherever you go, that man is going to haunt you.
Oh, fuck no,
He'll see
dude.
you at Boston Calling.
Because that's another thing
Yeah.
that Tash has been really big about, like you being one of the best performers.
Yeah, man, it's my bread and butter. Like I love it.
Do you like performing more or in studio more? Like putting the music together or
both.
doing it in front of your fans?
Both.
Okay.
It's like those are like putting the music to get like writing, recording, and making the music, performing it, and going on tour with it, and then shooting music videos for it. Those are like my favorite things.
What's your
Everything else
favorite
is-
video you've done so far? Because you guys you've done a bunch.
I know, and I gotta stop, honestly. Because we're in a different era. No one gives a fuck about music videos anymore, which breaks my heart, but like...
At one of them, you're fucking riding a horse.
Right, I was going to say Run with the Devil, right?
Yeah,
Run from the
you're
devil.
riding a
Run from the
fucking
devil.
horse and shit.
Yeah.
There's fire going off and shit.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, where were you you were downtown Boston with that
Downtown
horse?
Peabody, that's my city,
downtown
man.
Peabody,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I fucking, that's one of my favorites. I think...
I just like it because for the first part of it, you don't know he's on a horse.
Yeah.
And then it pans down. You're like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, no.
That's
well
what
done.
I wanted. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
What
The
made-
reveal. I'm big on the reveal.
What made you think of horse?
I like that a lot.
I had that idea when I made the song. I was like, dude, this sounds like I'm riding a fucking horse. I was like, don't.
It does kinda- it fits.
Don't. I'm just like, I'm making it. I'm like, yo, it's like some cowboy shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can fucking see myself like riding a horse with some fire. And then like, I'm just like, yo, I could like shut down the fucking street in my city. And I'm just like racking my brain. And I had those ideas before we even cut the second verse. You know what I mean? I already knew.
So what do you mean shut the street down?
So
Like, to film the video, you guys got a permit and shut the street down?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, big time.
It was one of those things that wasn't like I had to literally fund the police, which was like very not like punk rock of me at all. You know what I mean? But I guess like in order to shut the street down, like you need to get the permit cleared. And then when you get the permit, you can't do anything unless you hire police detail, which is like you got to pay their double overtime.
Huh?
And then it's like an hourly rate, and there needs to be like I think 3 or 4 minimum. It's so funny though because I had to like go back and forth with like the city, like via email, and one of their emails they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to ask the mayor because we don't know how patrons will think when they drive by and see you riding a horse down the city."
I imagine
down the
that would
street
be an
in the
interesting
city.
experience. You couldn't just use AI to like
Well, it's crazy.
get rid of all the people in the shot.
Fuck no.
Well, it's crazy because most of the time when you ride through cities, you see people straight up just doing drugs, like on the fucking.
Right,
and they're worried about someone riding a fucking horse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, especially Central Square.
Well,
yeah.
so there's so much more to it because to get that shot, we had to shoot it from the bed of a truck. So we had the truck right here with the bed, and then we had the Sony Red on a fucking crane that was like jutting out of the bed of the truck, and you had to time it perfect So whereas like the horse is coming this way and the truck is driving away from the horse, but it has to be the perfect speed so that the camera can pick up on it, because I wanted to do that reveal where it was like very close, and then pull out. So when the camera pulls out, it's fucking manually pulling out, being driven by a goddamn truck.
Yeah, your pull-out game was amazing.
You have like
pull-out game was fire.
You have an actual real camera too. You guys are doing like you guys using the big boys.
Yeah.
So
which is crazy in itself though too, right? When people pull those fucking the lights and the cameras and all that shit out.
Right.
Dollies and fucking like.
Yeah, man.
How much does a video like that cost you?
Couple G's.
That's it?
Couple G's. At the time, so I crashed a car. So I had a Honda Accord.
Those things are sturdy.
And it was sturdy, dude. And when I got it, it was brand new and it was a lease originally. But I fucking ran up the miles on it. Wound up having to buy it out. Long story short, as soon as I bought it out, maybe a week or two later, I fucking got into it and a complete.
Well, it was yours by then to do what you wanted with it.
Right. And what I did was fucking totaled it, taking a left turn, dude. I was taking a left turn and these kids were speeding. They fucking smashed into me. And one of them like jumped out and ran because he had a fucking gun on him, and like the cops came and it was a whole thing. And after that whole debacle, I was still found at fault because you're taking a left turn, and I guess that means you fucked up. But long story short, it was a total loss. So I got all that money for the car, which was like somewhere like $10,000, $11,000, something like that, right? And I'm just like, I'm sitting on Wish You Well. I'm sitting on Run From the Devil. I'm sitting on basically the whole Broken Parts album. And I'm like, I could get a car, or I could just like keep borrowing my mom's car and get these music videos. So I made the rational decision, of course, which was not fucking buy a new car and pay for these videos. I'm
firsthand familiar with those kinds of decisions.
Yeah. And like, you know, in hindsight, do I regret it? No, not really. Not at all. I just went with like the first nature, you know, with what was like second nature to me, which would be taking that risk, you know what I'm saying? So I use that to fund the Wish You Well video. I use that to fund Run From the Devil. I use that to, you know what I mean? And those are like some of my favorite videos I've ever made. You know, I rocked those out with Alex Stinson and like, you know, Connor, and we fucking killed it. It was great. They did a really bang up job on those.
So you bet on yourself and you win.
Yeah. I mean,
in this case,
there was no ROI.
Well, there was
mental ROI.
You've been doing it for a while though, betting on yourself. I'm thinking about like, I think it's gonna go backwards in this, maybe it's forwards. I don't know. Like your growing phase. Like, weren't you out in LA for a while?
Yeah.
Like that's one of those betting on yourselves that maybe didn't pan out the way you thought it was gonna?
So here's the thing, it did.
Okay. Well, just give us a backstory of like why you went to LA and the whole deal.
I went to LA because at the time, bless you. I went to LA because at the time I was fucking with like these big shot managers, and like I really thought that it was gonna, you know, happen for me. And like, long story short, I got backed into a corner, and they
one of those dream things.
Like, yeah. And what it turned into was like, you know, them wanting to buy my publishing and all my masters for $5,000.
$5,000.
I was like, oh.
You're like, I got more from my car, from my Honda.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. That is fucking gnarly.
Fucking LA.
But here's the thing, right? LA was so important to me because it taught me who I'm not. You know what I mean?
So?
It taught me what I didn't want. Because I would go in these writing camps and I go and do these co-writes because I also, like, I co-write for people. You know what I mean? Like, I've been featured in movies and, like, I've been featured in commercials, and, you know, you wouldn't even fucking know it's me unless I told you, hey, I wrote that hook or I wrote that melody, or, you know what I'm saying? But I go into these writing rooms and I work with these artists who are, like, so not fucking talented. And I know art is subjective and all that stuff, but if you're just in the corner fucking jerking off expecting everybody else with the talent to do everything for you just because you look cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you.
Is that what it is? They basically, like, they pick the person that looks the coolest?
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Or other times it's just as a result of their own fucking narcissism. You know what I mean? And they think that they want to get into this. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it, But long story short,
no Diddy parties though.
No
Diddy parties.
No,
Okay.
I didn't fit the height and weight requirements, bro.
I just read what you just said. You replied to a comment on one of your Instagram posts. Somebody was like, "How are you not a superstar right now?" And you're like, "It didn't fit the height weight requirement."
Word. If I was 6'1", bro, I would have been blown up.
Maybe.
Nah, but man,
I'm 6'3" though. I should be huge.
It was one of those things where like when I was out there, it was like, yo, I don't want to be like any of these people, because everybody's trying to be like somebody else out there. Everybody's trying to sound like somebody else or make their sound similar to somebody else, or using something as a reference or as a blueprint, which like cool, like, you know, if it works, it works, but I don't want to do that, you know. And I learned a lot about like what I want to be and like what I want to do and how I never want to feel again, which was like that state of desperation and loneliness and hopelessness and feeling so like an interloper.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's almost like no soul in it. He was saying earlier, music has soul in it. Like, I like music that has a soul to it.
Yeah.
And when everyone's out trying to sound like everybody else, you're not really making what's inside of you. You're making like what you think people want to hear.
Right.
And that's not, like, I guess art is subjective, but
you never know what people want to fucking hear. I don't even know what I want to hear until I hear it, and I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
You know.
So how do you make your money right now? Is it like you said, writing for movies, writing for commercials?
No.
No.
So music
is paying full time.
It does not full time.
Okay.
So I have that as a stream of revenue. So like shows, features, though I haven't been doing many, but a lot of it is like shows and like selling merch and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do have an extensive merch collection, I saw.
Yeah, and then I work like part-time. I do like the music and like after school program for the Recovery High School in Beverly.
Okay.
So I do that part-time, and then the other full-time gig is basically I do like project management, like project development and stuff for a nonprofit in Boston, which is pretty much just like connecting the dots and like bridging gaps for you know, people that are seeking like services related to like recovery and things like that. So it's super cool, man. I got like a good setup.
There's a lot of connection between the recovery industry and the music industry, like everyone we've interviewed as of late.
Yeah, but I try and keep those two things separate. You know what I mean? I never want to come off as like you know, this is like directly tied into it. Like I'm just an artist that happens to be in recovery. I'm not like this guy in recovery that's also an artist. Like, no, like I tried that before. It was fucking corny. Like, that's what they tried to pigeonhole me as, and I didn't fucking like the way that I felt. I didn't like the way that I felt it looked. And I put a hard stop to that before it got any
How would you describe your sound to somebody else?
I'd say like alternative pop.
Okay.
Anti-pop, alternative rap.
Anti-pop.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by anti-pop?
Like, it's kind of like outside the box. Like, it's not your traditional pop music.
Because I think you're a pop star. Like, and I don't think that like it's a bad thing either. No. Like, I think like you make I've seen probably 10 of your shows by now. Like, and usually what it is a lot of girls, and they usually sing all the words to your songs.
Fuck yeah.
So that's usually what it is. Like, fucking, and that's kind of what you want from a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know that's what I wanted from the roll up. A lot of girls.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking, well, it was a weed show. It's different.
It was the Locks headlining.
Fucking, a little bit different, but
different crowd.
No, like, so like you have those like bigger sound songs that like are stadium almost songs.
Right.
Like they're big sound. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going and on like, well, I guess I won't get to the new album yet, but a lot of your stuff, it's either that like, it's like either that low key shit, or it's like
massive.
Boom! Yeah. We're gonna fucking blow this thing. It's like acoustic,
or both,
it's
or
like
both in one.
Well, the new album.
Yeah.
A lot of the just help yourself, man.
I'm just going for it.
Fucking
you're the first person to actually just stretch out.
Fucking
bro, I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do anymore.
Fucking well, you do have some songs. There was one song I forget, like on the new album. It's just like I didn't play it for him yet, but it sounds like it builds. It builds and it builds. You got a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have this album yet.
A lot of the album.
We'll listen to it after. I'll show you some jams.
And we can go through some of it too. But it's like in the same. You know Kanye, and I don't want to say like it sounds like Kanye because it doesn't sound like Kanye, but it has Kanye influences in there.
Yeah.
You know, like in some of his songs, like All the Lights and shit, it'll be like 4 songs in one song.
Yeah.
Like it breaks up and then
but especially All the Lights,
It still makes sense.
And still, it all fits and makes sense.
Yes.
He's good at changing his style like 4 or 5 times. When Knox like wants to drop it down and do like some like bloom, he can like bring his shit down and go low, and then when he wants to bloom,
it's like an opera.
You fucking it's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, exactly. And I love Queen.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I love Queen, dude.
Did you see the movie?
But like
sick.
But it's more than just that though, because you have to know how to make a lot of different kinds of music.
Yes.
You have to be smart enough to understand how those kinds of music are made, and then how you can apply those different. Because orange and green don't always go together. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you add a little bit of yellow in there, oh, boom, now we got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, you got to like know that shit, because people, just because you put country and rap together, it's not going to be. And like he said, like,
although Kid Rock's first album,
you're not like rock rap, but there's like a rock rap to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want that Limp Bizkit like that shit.
Yeah,
but like there's an element of like, because you do rhyme and you do rap. You know what I mean? But you're also you're backed by 2 guitars and drums,
right?
And you're singing, you're harmonizing melodies.
Yeah, it's not so. That's why it's so hard to put it in a box, which is like a double-edged sword, because it's not as easy to ingest from an outside perspective, because it doesn't sound like anything you've heard before, which is like, there's always so much more risk when you're doing something that's a bit off the beaten path. Especially like in the world that I am in, like sonically.
I think I've told you this. I told your guitar the same thing, that like this new album, people are either gonna love it or they're not gonna understand it.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be one of those things that like it's
no in between.
I don't think so. But musically, it's really good. Yeah. Like the music of it, the composition of the like you guys are stretching everything. Mm-hmm. Like you guys are not taking anything easy. You guys went the hard route. Every single time.
Every single fucking
every
release.
Single time.
Every single release. And it's one of those things, man, where it's like, like, I've said it before. If I wanted to fucking, you know what I mean? If I wanted to be like make up a little fucking song and dance and go viral with all that bullshit, I could have done that, but I don't want to do that. I want to be a fucking artist. I don't want to be a flash in the pan,
You're with the right person too, because Knox refuses to do that shit.
Yeah.
Because he's someone that could easily do a fucking 808 beat and fucking make it into this thing and blah, blah, blah. Easy.
It's boring.
But he will not do it.
It's boring.
He won't do it.
It's boring, dude. It's just so saturated, but the market is so saturated,
Who are you listening to now? New artists. Like, who do you consider contemporaries?
Contemporaries? I don't know. I don't really put myself like. I don't compare myself. Like it's. I just keep my shit completely separate.
Okay, then who are you listening to?
But I listen to a lot of like. Honestly, I've been on like a big like Frank Sinatra tip lately.
Okay.
Like I fucking love listening to that shit. Like while I'm cooking at the crib and stuff like that, I'll put that on.
You got the new crib, right? The first time you got your spot, you're in Boston and shit like that, and fucking like that.
Yeah, I mean it's my first spot. It's not my first spot that I've lived alone at before, but it is. It feels all that much better because 2 years ago I had no car. I was living at home and I was sleeping on the. You know what I mean? I had nothing, right? And I got it all back and then some,
It's dope.
2 years, wow.
Way better.
It's dope when you can see, like, I was someone who...
A year ago, I was living at home.
Wait, what changes did you make to make a complete 180 in a year?
I just kept my head down and kept working, dude. I was going on these tours, bro, and I would, like, open up for Webby, and, like, I would do, like, these fucking long-ass tours and play for thousands of people and then go back home and, like, borrow my mom's car and, like,
But that sounds like you were grinding before.
Yeah.
You were grinding before, so what changed?
It was just...
Different kind of grinding?
It was just I wasn't ready to receive the blessings at the time. You know what I mean? I wasn't ready. And then, like, the universe woke me up one day and said, "You're ready," and then they just started happening,
Oh, my God. What the fuck does that mean, Justin? This guy on some metaphysical, like...
No, it's very
crystals.
Simple. It's very simple. The universe will never give you anything until you're ready to receive it. That's just what it is, even subconsciously. Because, who knows? At the time, you might not be able to handle it.
So there's nothing tangible that we can pick out from this experience that others can replicate?
I got fucking paid. I got fucking bread. I got my bread up.
You got your bread.
Is that better?
Yeah, sort of. How did you go about getting your bread up in the past year, as opposed to before you were touring with all these? Like Chris Webby is a big rapper. I mean, is that
Jesus Christ?
Is that
was the universe?
Right? What the fuck? This is why I don't talk about the universe ever.
Talking all that shit. The last time he talked shit, that's what happened.
And of all of the ones, it's the big Dookie chain.
I'm dead serious.
Crashing down.
Yeah, big Dookie command strip.
Maybe I shouldn't continue down this line of questions.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right, next.
Fucking that second time, but last time he was questioning the universe about Craig, and that fucking thing fell off. Same fucking thing.
Yeah, never question the universe, dude. I got an amethyst crystal up my ass right now, bro.
Wait, did you say at my house or up my ass?
Up my ass.
Up his ass.
I got the crystal plug in, bro.
So you talk about a lot of
crystal and butt plug.
Careful, that's our couch right there.
It's about to get blessed by the universe.
You break it, you buy it.
I'm about to bless us by the universe, man.
So, I mean, speaking of blessings in the universe, right? You had recently you had a very interesting double back where you got to compare your past with your present. Didn't something come up from 2 years ago, maybe an arrest or something like that, on the same day that you're doing something with your old high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe that I saw that you post something that said 2 years ago this is what was happening, and today this is where I am. Wasn't it was like an arrest, like a headline from the Peabody.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. So those are two separate things. But
but you were saying
it was for a festival that I'm headlining for the city.
Yes. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I googled my name. So I got put on.
This is pretty cool, right? Actually.
Headline the first festival, Peabody and Peabody Access Television and stuff is throwing a festival.
The city of Peabody.
For the city. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And I'm headlining it.
Okay. You're from Peabody.
Yes.
Okay.
Along with all these other young artists and this up and coming talent that's also from the same city and from the same area, which is awesome, and I really want to support the arts out there. So I'm really excited about it. So I googled my name because the Salem News, the Salem newspaper or whatever, had mentioned the festival, and I wanted to see what they had to say about it. So I googled my name, Justin Clancy, Salem News, and boom, here it's 2024, Justin Clancy set to headline, Yes Fest, and I'm like, yo, fuck yeah! But then literally right underneath it, it says 2013, Justin Clancy, homeless, caught and arrested robbing cars with homeless guy, for breaking and entering and possession of stolen property and weapons,
oh jeez,
right next to each other.
Yeah, which
also it's Salem News, let's fucking do an actual article so we can kind of
move that further down the algorithm.
Yeah. So it's you know what I mean, but also it was just really cool. It was such a cool parallel, man, just to see that and how different it is now.
I think there's a lot to that, actually. I know you want the recovery and the music to be separate, and I understand they are, but there is a parallel to that, and I think it's important that people see, it was 4 years ago, I was pretty much homeless. Yeah. And I got all this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's a way to put your fucking nose down, grind, and get it all back.
Yeah.
No matter how fucking low you are, no matter how, you could be just homeless in the street, in jail.
Right.
And you do it for a year, you put a year together, put 2 years together, you can be headlining the fucking festival in your hometown.
Well, I mean, it's insane. It's insane to see what a year of hard work does. You know what I mean? But also, it's life is a never-ending process of losing everything and then getting it back, and then losing everything and then getting it back. Especially if you're an artist or a creative, or especially if you're in a space like us, it's almost secondary at this point. Where it's so fragile. You know what I mean?
Well, the key is to eventually get to a point where you don't lose it again. You do that so many times, then finally you figure out a way to be all right, we're not going to lose it this time.
Yeah, the roller coaster.
We're going to put a little bit of money in the bank this time. We're going to get a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of thing with the legalize this, that, the next thing. We're going to get some trademarks, some copyrights. We're going to put some investment here.
But you got to make sure that you're in a place where you're okay.
Oh yeah.
If it's all fucking gone tomorrow, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to keep fucking fighting, or are you just going to quit? You know what I'm saying? That's what's most important. as soon as you put yourself in a space where it's like, okay, if I lose everything tomorrow, if all my shit burns down, if I lose all my worldly possessions, am I going to be able to keep fighting? And if the answer is yes, then the likelihood of you keeping those things is higher.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I definitely, I know, man. I've done the roller coaster of up and down, up and down, up and down so many fucking times.
I mean,
I've done the roller coaster.
So I mean, I like seeing the journey from artists, especially like I think you're one of the next ones that's gonna, if you keep working the way you're supposed to work and you keep putting your talent is your talent, but your work is gonna bring you to where you need to go.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if you could put it together the next year, you should be in a place that, you know, you should be in a better off place than you are now. Like, hopefully the national, you know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
I mean, it's work. It's work away. It's basically what it is. But to attest that, to go back and say that you were homeless 2 years ago, and then from 2 years from now, 4 years time, you could possibly be like on tour, touring the country. You know what I'm saying? Like being on all the stages, all the shit.
Right.
And it's just a lot. Like it's a big jump. You know what I'm saying? To show people that you can actually do that.
Yeah.
You know, to be an actual example in real life. It's easy to say, hey, look, if you work hard, 3 years from now, you can have all your shit back.
Right.
People go, yeah, fuck all that. And you go, no. Like, look, right there.
Yeah.
Like, he's someone, and like, he's not, you don't have a regular job where like, oh, you're the manager at Dunkin' Donuts now or something like that.
Right.
Like, you have a job where you're on fucking TV and you're traveling and people are fucking giving you flowers, and you get what I'm saying? So anyone can almost do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that hard fucking work.
You know, Anthony Robbins says that people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5. And I just wanted to say that because I was really proud of myself for remembering that quote. The end.
That's fire.
So,
Bars.
Don't be encouraging this guy.
Have you actually never read a page out the Bible?
No, I have.
Okay.
I have. Long time ago. I've read like Corinthians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You guys are good. Just keep talking.
Is it hot as fuck in here, or is it just
bro? Yeah,
my
man.
sexiness?
It's hot, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you got coming up? You got the new album. When's that dropping?
I don't know. I know that I'm dropping the first single. When is this set to come out? This podcast? You think?
2 weeks.
Right in time for the first single.
Okay.
May 21st, and then Boston Calling.
Okay.
And then a slew of other one-offs and festivals, and just gonna consistently be releasing music.
Yeah. You know what? Don't even worry about it. Just keep going back.
You know what I will ask, this is going to kind of take a left from where we're currently at. So your generation, maybe this is because my parents were just in town. So your generation, everybody has fucking tattoos. Covering like their whole bodies. And I'm noticing the hand tats and the finger tats.
Yeah.
So why do you think there was that change from my generation where one tattoo symbolized that like you were a troublemaker or a badass, and now everyone's got a million tattoos and you got your hand and you can't even hide your hands unless you're wearing gloves?
Yeah.
I think you can't wear gloves unless you're doing yard work or it's the winter. So
it became less and less taboo as it got like more commercialized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now everybody's got a fucking tattoo. It's crazier to see somebody my age that like doesn't have any tattoos.
It is.
You know.
Nate doesn't.
I've actually had people have actually told me.
We should pay to have Nate get a big Dookie chain tattoo, and we go with the cameras down to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Once you get to a certain age, it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Now, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a little weird to start getting tattoos in my 40s.
Yeah, it's become more socially acceptable.
I love people like in the industry, tattoo industry and stuff. Like when I talk about getting like sleep, they're like, don't. They're like, because you're one of like the only dudes that are actually old now in that game that don't have tattoos.
This is what separates.
So it's almost like you're almost like separated because you don't have tattoos.
Yeah.
You're like you stick out more because you're not covered in them, which is kind of weird that we got to a stage where that's the thing.
Yeah. Very strange.
You're like a transformer though, because you have them on your legs, so you can hide them at any time.
You know, I don't know how that's like a transformer, but
it's because if you got them on, if you have tattoos on your arms, you literally like people are gonna know. You can't have like a white collar job without like people knowing.
Well, white collar jobs usually have long sleeves.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You always got a rebuttal, don't you?
Just never had one of those.
You can't just let me no.
So Justin, what's your favorite song you've ever made?
Oh man.
Your favorite that you've made?
Fuck. I can't like bake it down to one.
Do you have top 3? If someone doesn't know who Justin Clancy is, and you want to show them Justin Clancy. What are you showing them?
Run from the Devil, Noose, Groan.
That wasn't that. How was it?
No.
Groan's one of those songs that gets stuck in my fucking head, and I actually wanted to call you before and be like, bro, like I've had this fucking stuck in my head for like 3 or 4 fucking days. That part,
yeah,
it like brainworms me. Fucking lives in there,
bro. That's another one that I wrote in one sitting. I just showed up and saw Knox, and we got up one day. I was running on like 2 hours of sleep, and it was just bang right there on the spot.
Do you find those are the ones that work the best?
Oh, it's a toss up.
Because it seems like all the ones that you've said so far that you really like are the ones that you've just kind of banged out in one session.
No, Noose took a little bit. Run from the Devil I knew right away, but it took me like 2 days to like finish writing some of it.
What about your number one song, The Bottom Line?
Oh, fuck.
You're already sick of it?
I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Well, because, I mean, it's a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's just not in any way, shape, or form representative of, like, who I am and the music I make now, you know?
That's interesting right there.
Yeah.
Because, like...
It's so rappy rap.
And that's why you don't like it?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you play that in comparison to, like, Run from the Devil or, like, you know, any of the stuff off the newer album. It's so different.
Yeah.
It's different but same. I mean, but
you're growing.
I've grown so much since I made that record, but it just continues to be the biggest fucking record I ever did. You know what I mean?
That's the one that people know the most. I think that's probably why. It's
yeah.
Like you always go back to like the original. Whatever people got into you, like your catalog originally, that's always going to be like their favorite thing.
Like, I'm super grateful for it. You know, it's definitely opened up a lot of doors, and like, you know, millions of people have heard that song, which is mind blowing to me.
Crazy.
You know, but,
have you ever had like
I just wish they'd listen to something else.
Have you ever had someone come up to you that is someone that you've looked up to, like some kind of famous musician or something, be like, yo, your shit's dope?
Atmosphere, Slug.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Empty Space is your second biggest song with Slug.
Is he on the new album as well?
That Empty Space.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I know him from working at undergroundhiphop.com for 15 years.
Yeah,
Atmosphere was one of our biggest sellers.
He's such a cool guy, man.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's such a cool dude. Ant's great too.
Yeah.
Man. But
what made you feature? He's the only feature on the album, right?
Yeah.
And what made you?
That's just organic. My thing is, like, if it happens organically, I let it happen. I hate going out of my way to like force relationships or especially when it comes to art. You know what I mean? Like, that was one of the most organic things.
Yeah, what happened?
Our whole, like, the whole relationship I have with him is like super organic, you know? Well, I don't know. I kind of forced it to happen in the beginning, but afterwards. Long story short, he was going to play the House of Blues. This was for his... No, what's the album that came out before Southsiders? It's like a Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That album.
Yeah, I don't recall.
At the time, I got the opportunity through Mind Spray to pass out like flyers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I passed out enough flyers, this was like 2014. If I passed out enough flyers for the show, I'd get free tickets. So I got thrown into a marketing chain email, and his email was on there, Sean.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, sick. Now I have his fucking email. So now I'm gonna email him. And Stiz Grimy worked at WAAF at the time. Mm-hmm. I think he still does, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, Stiz, I was like, I'm gonna make this alley-oop, and I'm gonna email Atmosphere, and I'm gonna get them on WAAF, whatever. I don't know. I fucking finessed, and I emailed him and acted like I was from fucking WAAF. Yo, you want to come in for a radio interview the morning of your show, blah, 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 this and that. And then long story short.
Yeah.
Because he's here every year.
Yeah. And then long story short, my fucking, my tickets got upgraded, and then they got double upgraded because Dart Adams was going to the show, and he was like, yo, why don't you just roll with me and I'll introduce you. And I was like, fuck yeah, even better.
Nice.
And it was like it was on my birthday. You know what I mean? It was great. And like, I met him, and we talked about Prince for like 2.5 hours, and I listened to him and Dart talk about old guy shit. And and like he dropped like a gem on me, and it was something that I'll never forget. And he taught me that you have to get really good at failing, like super good at failing. Like almost more important to be good at fucking up than like succeeding. Because once you build that callous and once you're fearless in that sense, then everything else will start to come together. And that's what he taught a young Justin Clancy that night. You know what I mean? And it changed my life forever. So from that point on, you know, we would keep in touch. We'd email back and forth, and like we've talked for like 8 years. I still don't have the dude's number. We've talked for several years, dude. I've known him for fucking a grip, almost.
Well, now it would be just awkward to ask.
A decade.
10 years later.
We have a whole ass song together.
Yeah.
And I don't have his number. We just email and like DM and message each other and shit. It's fucking wild, but you know, whatever. But yeah, man. And then we've kept in touch, and like, he started following me and whatever. He really fucked with like what I had going on. And I made Empty Space, which, you know, was originally just like one quick verse, and there was no drums on it. There was no nothing. It was just me playing piano and guitar on it. And I sent it over to him, and I was like, yo, like, Shot in the Dark, but like, do you fuck with this? Like, you want to throw a verse on it or whatever? And he emails me back, and there was a fucking verse on it. He was like, yo, let me know like what you think, like how I did, and like he's such a humble dude.
Wait, when
like,
that hit your inbox,
I freaked the fuck out. I was an Atmosphere super fan growing up. It's like super fan.
I mean,
like,
God Loves Ugly is like one of the most seminal albums in underground
one of my
hip-hop.
One of my favorites. And like, I almost feel like a fucking weirdo super fan. You know what I mean? Because it's like, now technically he's like one of my peers, but like,
right.
I still look at him like I'm like that. You know, like I'm like that 12-year-old kid that like just discovered, you know, Overcast. You know what I mean? Like I still look at him like that. Which probably is weird to him too. But you know, it was a super organic thing, and like he even like would email me and be like, dude, your writing is incredible. He's like, your writing is so good, like I love your writing on this, which is fucking mind-blowing because he's one of my favorite writers of all time, you know what I mean? So that was just like a surreal moment for sure.
So we can look out for the Atmosphere Justin Clancy tour.
I fucking wish, dude. I fucking wish.
Just send him another email. Why not? The song is out.
Yeah. Is
there anyone you want to work with? Who's the dream collab?
50 Cent.
If you're gonna manifest it, put it out there.
Trent Reznor.
Oh my God! Pretty Hate Machine is one of my all-time favorite.
You're going
albums.
big, huh?
Yeah, you can't go much bigger than that.
Trent Reznor or Tom York, dude.
Okay, so Trent Reznor, Tom York. So do you know
Pharrell.
about? So next time you see Knox, ask him about his Trent Reznor and fucking Tom York phase. He's gonna play you a lot of fucking beats.
Dude, that's still now.
Yeah, that phase should never end.
All the shit that me and him got is like such a mix because I love them too. You know what I mean?
I'll play you the Blame Trent Reznor remix that we have. It's labeled Trent Reznor remix.
I believe it.
I love it.
It's like 9.5 minutes long. It's like fucking,
I believe it. I mean,
crazy. And half of it, it's just him just doing, you know, like all that shit.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
It's like a robot breaking down and like fucking digital noises, and it's all types of crazy shit.
Yeah, of course it is, dude.
And it was on a hip hop song that we put out, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Yeah, he's played me some wild shit for me, man. But like, yeah, who else? Dream collab. I mean, honestly, like Slug was on there. You know what I mean?
Right. That was just a good match.
You know what's cool too is like the people he's bringing up is like all the people that we respect about good music, the Pharones, the Brandons, the Dart Adams. Like these are all people that's saying you got next. So that's gonna be like a really good feeling for you because those are like pillars of Boston music.
Oh, they said I got next.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, it depends on your work ethic.
I mean, nobody wants it more than me.
That's what's gonna be.
My work ethic. They tried to kill me. They'll never fucking kill me.
That's the only thing that's gonna kill you is you.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
I tried to kill me. I still can't kill me. You know.
I mean, you know, Pharone was saying that he was gonna come last time you were gonna come on in because he was saying that this might be one of the last times that he gets to hang out with you before you do blow up.
Oh,
you know what
really?
I mean?
He said that?
Bro, the city's behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people are behind. Pharone obviously knows good music. We all, you can't fuck around with Knox and not know good music because he won't allow it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we know what it is. You know what I mean? Just got to go out there and fucking just put it together, man.
Yeah.
Put it together. I mean,
I feel it, especially with this new album, man. I'm really excited. It's like you said, there's no in between.
What do you? So with the new album, what do you have?
So bonkers.
What do you have coming up with that new album?
I can't disclose too much.
Okay.
But I know I want to go back to my roots.
Well,
in terms of the rollout and marketing.
Okay, but you're doing Boston Calling. We can talk about that, right?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so that's obviously you're gonna have some new songs there.
Yeah.
You're doing
Have you done Boston Calling before?
No.
Okay.
No.
Nice.
How'd that work out? How'd you get that?
I found out I was playing Boston Calling when I was taking the shit.
Okay.
I got the email I was pooping.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Is that something you have to like?
It was publicized.
Okay.
I got interviewed for a local newspaper, and he was like, "Yeah, so what did you feel when you like found out you were playing Boston Calling?" And I was like, "Man, I was like off the record, I was taking a shit, and you know what I mean. I was just trying to be homie with the reporter, and he fucking led the headline with Justin Clancy was on the toilet when he found out."
Yeah, see,
I was like, "Damn, bro, like you ain't gonna tell the whole world I'd be shitting like that. That's
journalism.
Crazy. That's really journalism."
That's
like, man,
up.
I said off the record I was pooping, dude. You could have said anything else. I'll never forget though, because my band was like in the van. They were all waiting for me. We just had a super stressful morning. Like, we were getting ready to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Some shit fell through with the van. We had to go with a different rental company, whatever. So I was hopping in the shower real quick, like shit, shower, shave, out, right? And so I'm doing my thing, and the email comes through, and I am screaming. Because here's the thing. I have been trying to fucking play Boston Calling forever. So much so to the point where I've gotten invited to go to Boston Calling, and I have fucking refused because I always said I'm not stepping foot into Boston Calling unless I'm playing there.
So how did that come about though? Do you have to like send out like
try out?
Yeah,
last year I sent this dude Peter an email.
You and your emails, man.
Yeah.
You and your emails have been working out.
Ask Brandon.
Brandon's an email guy too.
Ask Brandon about me and my insistent, like my I am fucking annoying. Leeds knows too. Ask Leeds too.
This guy's more annoying than him.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah. The only thing that works out in his favor is because he's tall.
That's true.
So it's different.
And he has really strong hands.
It's different when a tall person be harassing you because they're like, oh fuck. But when it's a little guy, it's more of like a, right. Fuck off, man.
Yeah.
But I don't give a shit. I will fucking harass you, and if you don't give me the answer that I want, like if you are somebody that's like a an A&R or a booking agent or fucking whatever, right? Like I will figure out a way. No matter what.
There's a right answer, and you're going to make sure they ace this test.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, it's already there. Like, dude, here's the thing, man. There's so many people working in the city, right? And it's like, why are people so afraid to extend a fucking olive branch? Why are people so afraid? Like, what are you gatekeeping? This is Boston, dude. What are you really fucking gatekeeping?
Mm-hmm.
It's not LA.
People want you to do well, but not better than them.
Right.
That's what it is.
They want to keep you in this cute little box.
Yeah.
They want to keep you as like the 19-year-old Justin that's passing out CDs for Joyner Lucas in front of the House of Blues in the fucking freezing cold in the snowstorm. They want to keep you in that box. They don't want to put you in the fucking box of, Justin Clancy playing for thousands of people at a fucking festival. You know what I'm saying? Now, not to say everybody is like that, because like you said, there's tons of love behind me, and like the city really fucks with me, and it feels amazing to be vindicated in that sense. However, at the same time, there are still those motherfuckers that want to see you as that, and keep you right there, because it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them.
Yeah.
And their fear and their insecurities. And it's like, well, what if he's Well, in all actuality, I already fucking hate you. I already ate you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you must have got a lot of that. You've probably outgrown a lot of it. But like at the beginning, taking chances, getting play, and then people going like, that should be my play. Why the fuck isn't that my play?
Yeah.
It's like it's all that crab in the bucket mentality of like you can win, and I can win too.
Yeah.
We both can win.
I think the thing that's worked out in my favor is that I have my own lane.
Yeah.
Where I make my own music. I'm not a kid. Like, I'm not competition in a sense for these rappers out here because I'm not really a rapper.
Yeah.
And I'm not like competition for like these pop artist because I'm not really a pop artist. Yeah. And I'm not competition for the hardcore kids and the rock kids because I'm not really a hardcore or a rock art. I'm like my own thing. You know what I mean? So I've definitely played that well. And that feels good.
I'm trying to think if I had to compare you to someone who it would be. I want to almost say like wax or something like that, but it's not wax either. Like it's because he doesn't like sing enough, he doesn't harmonize enough. But there really isn't like if you could take all the guys from Linkin Park and put them in one. No, guy,
I was gonna say you could go with Everlast.
A little. I mean, if it was his older shit. His older shit, yeah. When he became like Whitey Ford and stuff, yeah, a little bit, a little bit, yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit there. Yeah. It's not the same thing, but it's like it's
for sure.
I'm just trying to say that because it's difficult to even like pigeonhole what you like your actual
and that's
sound.
Good. That's okay. Good. You know what I
really
mean?
Good.
Like I feel good about that. You know, I'd rather be myself than anybody else.
Damn, man, came a long fucking way. Oh, tell us about the high school,
the Peabody High School.
Yes, tell us about that.
Yeah, man. So like I have the choir, their chorus program.
Yep.
Their choral program, I guess. I have their choir backing me at Boston Calling,
which is dope.
Which is gonna be. I'm really fucking excited.
What song are they doing?
The whole set.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, I just got back from rehearsals with them. Me and my band. We rehearsed at my old high school. That I dropped out of that shit. I dropped out of that fucking place, and now I'm going back. And providing these kids with an opportunity that I wish I had when I was in school. You know, I wish that I was like a part of that.
Are any of the same teachers there and principals there that remember you?
Some of them. I don't remember most of them.
But
though.
Do they? But I'm asking that because did anyone come up to you and be like, "Hey, I remember you from back then, and look at you back here now"?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, that must be.
Yeah.
That's got to be cool and almost humbling.
It's really cool, but I'm more so doing it to allow these kids to have this experience. It's not so much about me, and it's more so about like passing the torch. You know, like I want these kids to feel what it feels like to be on the stage and performing for these people, you know? Like and that's how it should be. Like so many people, like what we were talking about before, they gatekeep and they keep their cards so close to their chest, and they're so afraid of like allotting these opportunities, whereas like with me, like that generation is next.
Yeah.
Like when you're an artist, like there's such a bigger picture than just our little stupid fucking egotistic narcissistic heads. Like the picture is so much bigger than that, you know? If I can impact those kids' like this is a core memory for them. They'll never forget this for as long as they live. And if I can like put a bug in their ear to create forever and like continue along this course of whatever the fuck they want to do, then I made more of an impact than fucking anybody. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, I'm someone myself, I try to create memories. Nate will know this. I try to create memories of my friends, of people. I try to create like things that we can look back on.
Yeah.
What makes you want to do that? Because that's like a very specific trait of someone. And I can't figure out what the fuck makes me want to do that, but like I always want to do that.
Impact. It's impact. That's what makes you live forever. It's impact. That's what makes your music different is impact, right? I'll never say it enough. Listen, I'm happy with where I'm at with, you know, I'm not settling. I want to be fucking massive. But like, I'd rather have 18,000 followers and, you know, have people that sing my music word for word, have tattoos of my logos, and have like experiences with me that they'll never forget. I'd rather that than just be like a
Nickelback.
You know, somebody that's like being passively listened to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You just brought up, that reminds me, you just brought up tattoos. That's happened a couple times, right?
Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Walk us through one of those. So, I mean, this guy has gotten his logo, your name, your lyrics tattooed on people.
Signatures, my name.
You signed someone and they fucking got a tattoo of it?
Yeah, well, that happened. The first time it happened was against my will. I didn't know they were going to fucking do it. Like, so I just signed their arm, like, not thinking much of it. And then they showed up at another show and they were like, look what I got. And I was like, I was like, yo. So from now on, like, I ask if people are going to get a tattoo because I'll sign it on something separate to make sure that, like, it's good. You know what I mean? But that happened and I was like, holy shit. And then, like, people started doing logos and then, like, you know, and it's just been, like, a thing.
It's going to blow your mind, right?
It's absolutely mind-blowing. Sometimes I'm like, yo, that's sick. Other times I'm like, yo, you're fucking sure? Like,
like either that's sick or you're sick.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, just the fact that, like, listen, like, that's the best proof of concept. That's the best proof of concept that there is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because like
permanently etched into your skin.
Yeah,
say it's right up there.
But that's impact.
Yeah, that's impact.
Somebody felt that music so much. Somebody felt that song so much, or those lyrics so much, or they fuck with my story and me so much that they want to carry it with them forever in their soul. You know, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane. I'll take that over fucking another million plays on a song, you know, by these passive listeners. You know what I mean? Like
it's definitely a different commitment, and it's definitely a different like impact.
Well, what I was taught early on, right, was like, you know, if you catch somebody's ear, you have them for 3 minutes, right? You catch their ear, they'll vibe with it. You catch their heart, you have them for fucking ever. They will never forget you. So that's why it translates so much so into the music that I make. I try and make shit from the heart for the heart. I don't try and make like the oversaturated bullshit. I want to make the music that people feel, you know?
Are you proud of yourself?
Not yet.
Why?
I'll never be proud of myself. It's a consistent chase. I will always be chasing this. It will never be fucking good enough.
All right, let me rephrase it.
I'm a perfectionist.
From a year or two ago to where you are now, are you proud of yourself?
Prouder.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, I'm happy that I've taken the strides and I've locked in how I needed to do, but there's still so much work to be done.
Because it's hard to go from like level 1 to level 2 to level 3 is like hard, but then when you get to like level 5 to level 6, that's like the big fucking jump. That one, and that's like where you are now.
Yeah.
Like that jump from like, okay, playing local club shows with 100 people to now we're doing stadiums or, you know, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. It jumps. And like now instead of having like, you know, 100,000 streams, you're getting 2 million streams, shit like that. You know, you're getting money for this, money for that. It just seems like you're at that point right now where like the next step is the big step.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good to check in every now and then, make sure you're proud of yourself.
And fuck Gilly and Wallow. We are $1 million worth of game. Shit like that, little golden nuggets. Come on, man. Now.
It's what it is, man. It's what it is. I advocate for these guys too because you know Knox is like my little brother and shit, and like it's dope to see like that creative. Not a lot of people can handle his creative mind. Just so to see you like just jump and harness it and fucking actually like take it to the next level. Not even expand on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To help, like, probably like getting there with him, like, no, do this. Like, it's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope to me. I love it.
We work really well together.
I'm a fan of what you guys are doing. I'm a fan of what you're doing. And just the whole story and shit. I also like a redemption story.
Yeah.
Like, I also like come from the place where if you don't have shit, you go out and you get shit. You get it done. Like it's no excuse.
Yeah,
there's no excuses.
You go out, you fucking get it done. You want something, you go
do it, man. That's
the way
it.
that I was the way I was taught was like, if you don't like something, you fucking do something about it. You know what I mean?
You know, life is.
I didn't like my situation. I did something about
life is dictated by the players, man.
Right.
You got to be in the game playing. You know what I mean?
it.
You got to like take risks. You got to take chances. You got to try. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's scary. It's scary, especially I would think like just what you're doing every time you take one of these crazy risks of like, is this sound gonna work? I mean, because almost everything we do, like everything creative, like you put it out and you're like, oh, no one's gonna like this. I want to take it back and destroy it, delete it. Yeah. Especially when it's different.
Yeah.
Because it takes a minute for people to get adjusted to it.
Right.
You know
Everything's scary, but you know what's scarier than fucking all of that shit? Is quitting. You know,
doing nothing.
The scariest thing that I could possibly think of or conjure up is a fucking life where I settle and give up and quit and get the 9 to 5 and get the white picket fence and the fucking golden retriever. That's terrifying.
Terrifying.
That's scarier than putting out an interesting piece of art.
Scares the shit out of me too, man. I'm with you on that. Van, anything else you want to ask him? Because we are wrapping up. We're almost 2 hours into this thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. When are you gonna quit smoking cigarettes, Justin? The streets want to know.
I'm trying, man. It's hard. It's like the last thing, man. It's the last vice.
You gotta switch over to the vape, man.
I'm sure everyone must give you
the
shit.
Bricks 9000.
Everybody gives.
I smoked
shit.
for 23 and a half years, man.
It's so hard.
I quit like 2.5 years ago. Just you know what I did? CBD cigarettes.
Yeah.
CBD cigarettes. It took me about a month of the CBD cigarettes, and then it took about another 3 weeks to get rid of the hand thing, like to have it in my hand all the time. That was the hardest thing. But I literally about a month. But I quit so well, I actually bought stock in the company and shit. It went public, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. It's called Mountain Smokes.
Okay.
Check them out online. It took me about, like I said, about a month and a half. At 20, and I smoked for 23 and a half years.
Yeah, man. Something's
pack and a half a day.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah, it's
tough.
Fucking hard. But when I was ready, it actually wasn't that hard. Like I said, the CBD cigarette did everything that a regular cigarette did, except the nicotine. So it wasn't, the hard thing was actually like getting in the car and not lighting a cigarette. That was like taking a shit and not lighting a cigarette. That was like the hardest thing. I took them out one by one. Like I started with the car, then it was eating, then it was shitting, then it was, you know what I mean? Like one by one by one. And it took like a month. Tell you, man, it's not that hard. I'll hook you up with the website.
Asking the hard questions.
I know, man. Saving the hardest for last.
Saving the hard ones, dog.
Fuck yeah. Nah, man, it's been dope, and I'm looking forward to fucking seeing you at Boston Calling and what you get going on next. New album sounds amazing to me.
Thank you.
Definitely sounds different.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Anything else?
I need to hear the new album.
You will.
That's
you
where,
will.
that's
as soon
where
as
we are.
Turn these bad boys off. We'll spin some records for you.
Justin, if you want to look at this guy right here, tell everybody where they can find you. You know.
Where?
That camera. Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
You can find me everywhere at Justin_Clancy.
There you go. The best one was when Spencer was like, just type in Spencer Lavoie to Google. You'll find me. Like
I could say that. I could say that.
But you got to be careful because now they'll look up and they'll get your arrest record.
It's there.
You know.
At least that way we know Justin Clancy's your real name and not just your stage name.
Street cred too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Van, what do you want to tell these guys?
Like, subscribe, Big Dookie chain.
Fuck her chilling. Sense lives. Marty forever.
I forgot about that.
All right, peace.